Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nosebleed Seats. Very special edition here. One, this is my first live interview, and I have picked probably two of the hottest young guys in the Midwest for the interview. The Phoenix Twins, Dash and Tweak, that I did. Honestly, I mean, if you talk about Central Illinois wrestling, you talk about just the Midwest wrestling. These guys are live out of Champaign right now, but they wrestle all over Illinois, all over the Midwest.
And that was how it all began way back in July 2007. Welcome to this 250th episode of the Nosebleed Seats TV. 250 episodes have aired on public access. You're watching this online on stlwc.blip.tv. This will be episode 228, as the web version of the show actually was longer than a half an hour, at least in the early days, but did not make a move to realign the episode numbers, so entering the ring first is Waylon Beck, and currently holds the Pro Wrestling Glory Mid-American title. It's going to be a hodgepodge of different things on this episode of the program. Now, Ben Simon, your ring announcer. We're at 01 Supreme. This was a match that did not air on their program. 01 Supreme introduced a web series. They never got it on television. It was originally made to air on the commercial side, the cable marketplace network on Comcast Cable. It didn't make it on there. I had clamored for 01 to try and get on public access, UPTV6. For instance, who had sought out some programming and actually put on NWA Smoky Mountain out of Tennessee in the late night hours. But 01 did not air this match on their programming, and we're going to air this on our show this week. It's part of our hodgepodge. We're going to have an interview with Pierre coming up. We'll even take a look at a slideshow of guests that we had on the NBS TV over the past 5 years. 13.
For one fall, all tonight's bouts have no time limits. When the bell rings, you're ready to Skylar Cain. Introducing first, to my right, fighting out of Kickapoo Creek, 187 pounds, Waylon Beck.
Waylon Beck, back to being ranked number 5 on the NBS 25.
And his opponent in the red and yellow from Metropolis, Illinois. Weighing 127.5 pounds, this is DTM
Dan the Man, ranked 19th on the NBS 25, and he's held steady to that number for the past several quarters. Even with his catastrophic injury that he suffered in the May of last year. Waylon Beck and DTM are having issues again. I don't know what the why Waylon Beck is on Dan the Man's case. Wanted to pick a fight with him again. Waylon Beck was the man that stayed with DTM in the hospital following that horrific fall. Looks like the back of the head. Now this, I should point out, the Mattoon crowd had not seen DTM or Waylon Beck wrestle here before. So this is going to be, crowd reactions are going to be a little bit different. Oh, a suicide dive from DTM to the floor. The camera woman just stepped into our line of view as Dan the Man was charging. Flying head scissors. It's actually the debut of both these men here at 01 Supreme. And Dan the Man caught. Dan the Man caught him! Torture rack drop. Waylon Beck was just flinging him around like a rag doll. Now a hard chop. So I was saying, this crowd here in Mattoon had never seen, or at least the regulars of Mattoon. Of course, the NBS crew and several the fans who have traveled to other shows in the area probably are familiar with Waylon Beck and Dan the Man, but this is the first time both of these guys have wrestled in Mattoon. So the crowd may not be fully familiar with both of these wrestlers. As Waylon Beck just throws DTM to the canvas. And there's cover. 1, 2 count. As I was saying, a hodgepodge of things featured on the NBS TV this week. Thought about doing an entire episode of highlights from the past 6 years. Actually, the program started in 2007. It's online only. Oh no! And Dan the Man flung. Flung down. Suplex off the ropes. And Waylon Beck gonna put Dan the Man on top. Some wrestling events this weekend. World Wrestling Entertainment in St. Louis on the Friday the 17th. Illinois Championship Wrestling in East Carindale. It's Dan the Man flying butt drop. And Dan the Man has the head scissors and throws Waylon Beck down to the mat. So Illinois Championship Wrestling gonna feature Bushwhacker Luke. East Carindale on the 18th. You better make a reservation because the last event I attended, all except 2 rows of that building were reserved, and only about 200. Oh, look at that leg lariat from Waylon Beck and a 2 count. And man delivered a drop kick to Waylon Beck, thinking he was gonna follow it up with the area code kick, but Waylon Beck just fired right back at him. And now Waylon Beck may be going to finish him off. DTM. Inverted DDT. And a cover. 1, 2 count. Following weekend. We don't know when 01 will be running again. We thought we were going to see him run on the 24th, but that appears to be not the case. And Dan the Man has been caught. Area code kick. was caught, and now the Blu-ray driver. Blu-ray driver in the corner, Beck with the cover, and that is it. So Waylon Beck is victorious in surprisingly quick fashion. We've seen wars between these two last quite a long time. Epic battles between these two men, but the 5 minutes and 5 seconds is all it took this week for Waylon Beck to defeat Dan the Man. But the issues are not over. Dan the Man looking to challenge Waylon Beck for his PWG Mid-American title soon. We go to break. We're going to take a look at the schedule around the Central Illinois region, and then we're going to get on with the rest of the program. Various things, various surprises here on the 250th edition of the Nosebleed Seats. I am the Conservative Crime Fighter. Welcome. Coming in March and April 2014 is the 7th annual NBS Awards. We'll be back on the road again to honor the match of the year, tag team, most popular, most hated, referee, manager, feud, diamond in the rough, golden microphone, wrestling of the year, and to make inductions into the Central Illinois Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Nominations are open. Visit CentralIllinoisProWrestling.com right now to learn how we can all honor the best in Central Illinois Pro Wrestling.
Hey, this is Amazing Calm, also known as Awesome Calm, also known as Karma, also known as Anything with a K, also known as Disappear from Wrestling for a While, telling you to watch the Nosebleed Seats. Now.
And in keeping with the variety theme for this week on the 250th edition of the Nosebleed Seats, we've lined up this interview with this 01 superstar. First time on the NBS, we're talking with Pierre St. Pierre, now the former 01 Illinois title champion, except you've been waiting to rename the belt.
Former United States champion, soon to be reclaimed once Harker Dirge gets enough energy and effort to put me back in that ring against him.
I was going to say, the title that you so desperately want to rename to something else.
It is what it is.
But it says Illinois on the belt.
I don't care.
Say
National Heavyweight Championship. Get it straight.
You just said United States champion. What's the deal?
I can't ever make up my mind. All I gotta say is that I know that it's the best title to have in the United States. Therefore, I want it, and I want it around this waist.
All right. So you've been having a unique relationship with one Doomsday. How did that come about? Because
well, the way that happened was Dexter Schwartz, the brain behind the muscle and brawn, came to me and asked me if we could maybe partner and have him guard my back to keep that title, which obviously, as you noticed when I lost it, that was part of the problem. But either way, we've recouped, we've added some more soldiers to the army, and now I have Dexter, Doomsday, and more disciples to come.
Now, you've never had a tag team with Doomsday. The Hooligans are the 01 Midwest Tag Team Champions. What about going after them? You'd have two monsters against a brawler team. That would be quite an intriguing matchup, don't you think?
You know, I've had my eye on the prize of the National United States American Heavyweight Illinois State Championship. I never really thought about doing a tag match. You're right. Doomsday and I could become tag champs, then I can get back the other title, and then we can
Go after the
go after
Almighty
the X Division
Sheik.
title.
What about the Almighty Sheik?
Huh?
Almighty Sheik, he's the world champion. Why not go after
You know,
him?
that's the other one, because Almighty Sheik, as you saw, I had him down for a 12 count at one point in time, though the referee was nowhere to be found. I should have like 6 titles going from my chin all the way down to my here.
So,
I keep it PG for the kids.
well, Blake Steele was leading the belt race with 4 titles. Now, you think you can catch up to that feat?
Look, having titles at some rinky-dink around Illinois shows versus having 0-1 titles is night and day. You know, Blake Steele is a phenomenal competitor. But when you're the biggest fish in little itty-bitty ponds, it's not hard to come out on top. The cream does rise, you know, and Blake Steele is definitely one who could make that happen. But I'm talking about holding 4 simultaneous titles here in 0-1. That's what I'm talking about.
I wasn't sure that there was that many titles now. Jonathan Grisham's the X Division title, although they're going to rename it the Junior Heavyweight
Right.
title. You're no Junior Heavyweight, you're a Super Heavyweight. What's plan B?
You know, for being a guy who's in the know, I'm surprised you haven't noticed I've been slimming down my physique right in here. I'm working my way down to that junior heavyweight. I've gone from 350 to 285 to 270. Now I'm just working my way down. Then I'm going to get that title and bulk back up to defend against... Man, there's a lot I got to do in the next couple hours. What am I doing sitting here talking to you?
Well, you wanted to talk to me,
I
so...
don't want to talk to you. You came and asked me for an interview. Let's get this straight here. Don't be like, hey, you asked me. I didn't ask you. You asked me. You were over there talking to some blonde girl who didn't pay her way in the door. And then you said, hey, Bear, by the way, you've never been on the nosebleed seats. Would you want to be on the nosebleed seats? That's how the conversation happened. I remember. I was there.
All right, who else do you have in your sights that you've never had a match with before?
Never had a match with before.
Yeah, that's quite a perplexing question, isn't it? You have truly wrestled them all? I'm pretty sure there's plenty of
Well,
guys...
who are available. I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, I mean, there's a lot of guys in Illinois, but a lot of them I wouldn't waste my time getting in the ring with. Because, you know, when you're as great as I am, there's no point, you know, like tonight, this guy that got me wrestling tonight, I mean, I don't... Somebody, CC something, I don't know what his name is. Anyway, how about you tell me, who is the cream in the Illinois coffee that's risen to the top that I should consider putting in that ring with myself? How about you tell me that, since you know everybody?
Well, the top 5 wrestlers
okay.
in the NBS 25 list: Blake Steele, Brandon Espinoza, Christian Rose, Matt Cage, and Doomsday.
Well, I'll tell you, Doomsday is probably not going to happen anytime soon. But I'll tell you, I'd like to get Matt Cage in there. I'd like to put my hands around his scrawny little neck and shake it back and forth until he passes out, and then they raise his arm until he, you know, drops it 3 times. Yeah, Matt Cage, because he tried to do his little maneuvers, and he could probably get 1 or 2 shots in, but when it's all said and done, he's going to hibernate. Christian Rose, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt.
Wrestler of the Year.
According to who?
Hey, we gave it to him.
Well, that just shows you where you're at in the world.
Whatever.
Who else did you say?
Brandon Espinoza and Blake Steele.
Either one of those 2 can come in the ring. I don't know if Brandon Espinoza will ever show his face back here in 0-1. Heard there was some bad blood with him in management, but hey, whatever. You figure out where that can happen. I'll be there. Blake Steele, I'd love the opportunity. Love it. Though I think it would be a battle of beards. I'd have to put his beard up against my beard, and the loser would have to shave their beard.
All right, if other promoters want to bring in Bear St. Pierre, where do they go?
Well, I have a Facebook page, Bear St. Pierre. It's facebook.com/Bear St. Pierre. They can contact 0-1 management. They know how to get a hold of me. They can send me a check in the mail and the date that they're going to be doing the show, and I'll probably show up there. that's probably a surefire way to get me there, as long as the check is large enough. That's the problem I have with a lot of the other promotions, is that they're not used to paying for talent of my scale, so it's kind of hard for them to come up with the cash, if you understand what I'm saying.
Last question. How do you escape from a bear trap?
Like which kind? Like a full range bear trap, like a live trap, like when it gets the leg? There's a lot of different traps out there. I understand you're not a hunter, you don't understand what it means to be in the woods, you don't eat from the land, you go to the supermarket and buy it on a cellophane. But depending on what type of trap it is, first of all, you gotta know smart enough not to get in the trap. Silly slicker like yourself, I can understand why that may be a problem. If it's an ankle trap, what you want to do is push on the two sides, lift your foot out, and then let go. If it's a live trap where you're going to be inside a cage, you're just going to have to wait around until somebody comes and lets you out. So it's up to you.
I hope they're not armed.
Well, most people who fall into traps, the reason why they're in traps is because they don't have half a brain, and therefore they don't have any arms.
All right, Bear, thank you for talking to us. And to finish off our milestone 250th episode of the Nosebleed Seats, we take a look through some of our past guests we've interviewed here on the program over the past 7 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Nosebleed Seats. Thank you so much for joining us. I have with me my guest at this time, Rip Mystic. Rip, I told you before we started this whole thing, I consider you like the godfather of Central Illinois wrestling. You laughed when I told you that beforehand.
I'll laugh.
But today I'm in Rantoul, Illinois with probably one of the most exciting guys in the Central Illinois scene. Only been wrestling for nearly 2 years now and already all over the place. Brandon Keith, welcome to Nosebleed Seats, man. I appreciate you doing this. Sit down with me. The must-watch edition, we're going to talk about some of the must-watch wrestlers on the Central Illinois scene. Completely dedicate these guys for all their hard work and dedication in the business. Some of these guys are shining stars just waiting to break out. If the entire wrestling world blew up tomorrow, these two guys sitting with me would be considered wrestling experts. I'm Chris Lee. Please welcome my guest this time, Guy Smith. Guy, how you doing, man?
Not too bad.
Welcome to the Nosebleed Seats, man. Finally,
glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
We've been driving around Springfield for how long now? Trying to find a spot to do this at.
I don't know, at least an hour, hour and a half.
Completely my fault, completely unprepared. Dangerous Drew Thompson joins me on this edition. Drew, welcome to Nosebleed Seats, man.
Thank you.
Good to see you again, by the way, man. Much success going on with you all around wrestling in Central Illinois. Please welcome my guest at this time, Casey Jackson. Casey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm great, man. Glad to have you here finally.
Thanks for having me.
My guest at this time, Scott England from WAND TV right here in Decatur, Illinois. Scott, welcome to Nosebleed Seats, man.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on, man. An actual journalist.
Well, as close to it as you're going to get tonight. So,
on the Nosebleed Seats. So can't nobody say that I'm not trying to class the place up or actually bring in quality journalism. Mr. Everything, King of the Cruiserweights, J.C. Michaels. The Cutting Edge, Jackson Pride. The man sitting next to me needs no introduction, but I will introduce him anyways. Eric Priest, the gold standard of professional wrestling. I've lived in Mountain Zion, Illinois for about 20 years now. I can't remember a time living here when DeVore Academy wasn't here. Joining me today, Jeff DeVore, to promote Round 1 Fight Night. Once again here at DeVore Academy, guys, and I'm here with somebody that's probably got more pressure on his shoulders than just about anybody in this gym. Josh Christie, how you doing, Josh?
I'm pretty good, sir. How are you?
Good, man, good. Great night, myspace.com/Next Generation Wrestling. If you guys haven't checked it out, one of the premier wrestling companies in downstate Illinois. Just an amazing, amazing time. If you guys haven't had a chance to come and check out Next Generation yet, Mauve? It's you.
Give me that.
Premier. He said premier company. I think he meant to say premier players in the biggest and best company the state of Illinois has to offer. Did I say biggest and best? That's right, the best in the business is big business.
My guest at this time, the promoter of Heartland Championship Wrestling, Big Will Dixon. We're all the way down here in Anna, Illinois, of all places. Two of the patriarchs of IWA Mid-South, Ian Rotten, a legendary wrestler that started out in ECW, is that correct?
Well, I didn't start out there, but yeah, I got there.
You made your name in ECW, yes.
Yeah, I'm an ECW original. I was on Paul Heyman's first booked card.
Matt Cage here, nosebleed seats, and I'll go ahead and steal one from you, Crimey. The following views that will be expressed in this interview are no way, shape, or form reflect the nosebleed seats, right? Okay.
Last time on the nosebleed seats, we had Prince Ali. He mentioned a guy, said he was one of the greatest talents Central Illinois ever had, but he was one of the best kept secrets because Chicago didn't know about him due to his work schedule. This man's work schedule is now freed up, and this is Mr. Ryan Phoenix.
Hi, what's going on?
Hey. Today we'll be interviewing Oliver Cain for the 1000th time.
This is Bloody Harker Dirge joining us on the nosebleed seats. We're here in Maroa, Illinois.
This is the top tag team here in the Midwest right now. They've got the belts to prove it. Tonight,
we've actually beaten all tag teams, actually.
Yes.
Just to get that out there, there's not a tag team we haven't beaten.
There's not one tag team in our coverage area that they haven't destroyed.
He's the promoter of IWAU, Intimidator Totten. And this is the promoter of Dreamwave Wrestling, Jay Repsel.
Hi, everybody.
And our next member of that top 10 is Brandon Espinoza, the Brandon Espinoza.
You can say that.
My guest at this time, former NMW personality, who's been away for the past 4 years. He's moved out to the Carolinas and has really made a name for himself. Mr. Elite Jake Manning, known in some places as the Man Scout. Ladies and gentlemen, with me at this time, Dewey Booger Dawson. He used to wrestle in Central Illinois a lot, but now most of his bookings are in the Chicago area, the Quad Cities, and St. Louis.
You got it right.
Tell us how those have been going.
It's been going really awesome, actually. I just kind of slowed my career down, just focused more on the good Lord Jesus, and just from there, it's just been awesome. I've had title matches with Hunter Matthews. I beat him.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
We're
Anything else?
See that match.
Good wrestling going on, man, all across Central Illinois. Honestly, I mean, I think the standards and good stuff going on, man.
Yeah. What about our hometown, Decatur, Illinois?
This has been the Nosebleed Seats. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, I really appreciate it. It's again, there's a lot of stuff on Central Illinois Wrestling or on the internet that you can watch, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and for everybody's support, man. Everybody's been calling, asking where I've been, and wishing me luck on the restaurant, and I really appreciate it. Make sure you check out mainhangerrestaurant.com. By the way,
you got a website.
I got a website.
Do you have a MySpace?
No.
Restaurants have MySpace.
My wife wouldn't let me do it.
The Nosebleed Seats is the MySpace.
MySpace.com, the Nosebleed Seats. Make sure you guys check out that, and you can go ahead and plug all your stuff.
STLWrestling.livejournal.com, St. Louis Wrestling Community. I have a MySpace, rap_sheet. Moby.
If you would like to become a member of the Mystic Order of Arachnid Vigilance, you can search New England Comics on Google. It's a search engine. For only $12, you can become an official member of the Tick Society, which includes a button like this, an autographed picture of the Tick, an official spoon, a straw, a member certificate, and a membership card. Thank you very much.
Well, you successfully drove Chris Lee away, so I guess I'll be hosting the next episode of Nosebleeds. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.
The Nosebleed Seats is filmed before a live studio audience.